Hi, Zeal Academy. Welcome, and today we are going to talk about day 4. Day 4, when God made the lights in the universe. That's a lot of stuff that he made in one day. Are you ready to read what he talks about? It says here in the Bible, in Genesis 1:14 through 19. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made the 2 great lights, the greater light to rule over the day, and the lesser light to rule the night and the stars. And God set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, the 4th day. You see how big and beautiful it is? Just think that God has everything under control and in the palm of his hands. So how great and mighty is he? All of this is his creation. He is so great and so large that in his creation he has the sun and all the planets in the palm of his hands. If he can have everything from the sun and all the planets and everything that we know of,
even Earth that we live on,
everything at the palm of his hands, how great do you think that he is?
He's really great.
Just so that you have an idea of how large, just in our own solar system, we know that the sun is the largest. So we're gonna focus on the sun so that you have an idea of how big the sun is. The sun has a diameter. A diameter is from one side to the other side. So it's like the width. The whole sun's width, the whole thing. Not just from one side to the next, it's the whole sun's capacity of 1,392,000 kilometers. That means it's 865,000 miles. While the Earth's diameter is only 12,742 kilometers, and it's 7,918 miles. Wow, that's huge. So it's like 1,000,000 Earths can fit into one sun.
1,000,000 Earths.
1,000,000 Earths. 1,000,000 planet Earth is what we can identify with because the Earth is where we live. So if we live here, we know how big the Earth is, and the Earth is pretty big, isn't it?
It's pretty big.
So can you imagine 1,000,000 Earths? And it says here that God placed them in the expanse of the heavens. And he put it like if he was putting this ball that we created. And he just went like this and he said, "Okay, we're gonna put you right there." Like a puzzle. And then imagine, this is so big for us, right? That we can't comprehend the magnitude of how big. So imagine if you're playing with Legos. You create the houses, you create the habitat, you create the little people. They're about this big for you, right?
Actually, they're about
that big. Okay, so Lego people are tiny for us. So imagine how tiny the Lego people are compared to us. That's kind of the same imagination that you need to have with us being the Lego people and God being the size of us. That's how big. And then this is the sun for the little Lego people.
The Lego people.
So the people gotta be teeny tiny, teeny tiny.
The Lego people are like this,
They're there.
the size of this.
So now do you start to understand how big and how mighty God is? That's unbelievable, but it is believable. Because he made it all, so he has to be outside of it all. So let's take a moment and show everybody what we created. As far as creating our universe, just like God created the universe for us, to being lights in the sky or in the expanse of the heavens, with the sun creating the heat and the moon being a lesser light at night, so we can still see, because at night it would be like totally dark. We wouldn't be able to see anything. So he needed light. But before this day, on day 4, who was the light?
God.
God was the light on the earth, because that's what he was creating first. And then, once he said, okay, I created the earth, now I'm going to create everything else around it to make sure that it runs the right way. So then all this science happened. And he created the sun to give us heat so we can be warm, and light so we can see. And the moon, it affects the waters. It gives us a little bit of light at night so it's not so dark. But we can sleep and rest because he knew that our bodies were going to need to rest. And he gave us the stars in the sky and the rest of the galaxies. How powerful is that?
That's powerful.
He also told us that it was going to be a sign. Remember how I told you how God works with signs? The rainbow was one of the signs, remember? Well, he also made this a sign so that we could have seasons. And we'll get into seasons. And time, so that we knew when there was a day, when there was a year, because of all the seasons and the days and the years. And he specifically said that. So he was already showing us that it wasn't millions of years, it was the beginning of time. And that is how days, seasons, and years started, by God. All of this happened in one day. Can you do all of this in one day? No.
But we did all this in one day.
Yeah, but this was a puzzle. This wasn't the science and the magnitude that God did. But we had the idea of creating each and every one of them with all the little details that you had to put it together, and how hard it actually was to actually make the planet.
We had to put this stuff on, we had to put these in, we had to put on the ring.
Yeah, and it wasn't as easy as it might appear, was it? No. So
this project was really hard.
it was. Needless to say, it took quite a bit of effort, wasn't it? So God made Earth. Okay, so we're gonna put Earth right there. Okay, so God created Earth first, and then God made the 2 greater lights. So that means he made the sun, so the fire and the burning, all of that burning, and he placed it specifically at the right distance from the earth to keep us perfectly warm. Not too hot,
Not too cold.
just perfect for life to exist. And then so many things happen after that. Photosynthesis for the plants to grow. That's where we get the light coming in, and all the chlorophyll and everything for the plants to grow, us to be warm. So many things go on right there. And then he made the lesser light, which was our little moon, which the solar systems don't have the moons. But our little moon goes right there. And he made those 2 things first. And then, what does he do?
He makes the planets.
The stars.
The stars? Those little itty bitty stars.
Yeah, those little itty bitty stars. And I'm sure that once he does the stars, he puts in these
Planets.
these big, beautiful planets. And let me ask you something. We're talking about planets. We have a blend when we say the word planets. What What two letters do you hear when I say planets?
P,
Yeah.
P, and L.
That's right. P and L. The blend pl for planets. Okay, so in the planets, we have, how many planets do we have here?
8.
8. And in the galaxy, you know that the sun is like a star. Really big star. Okay, so now we have the planets. We already have the sun and the moon. But what does he tell the sun and the moon to do? He commands the lights, the greater light. So the sun rules over the day, meaning time. And the moon rules over the night, meaning time. So there's 12 hours of night and there's 12 hours of day. They have rules. They have laws. So everything in creation is obeying who?
God.
God and what he says. And God saw, when he created all this, he saw that it was
Good.
good. Was there anything bad about it? Nothing. It is perfect because God said so. And then there was evening and then there was morning. So what is he trying to tell you? There is time already. So let's see what planets we have here.
This one is always going to be the smallest planet.
Yeah, because it's in size.
It's so tiny.
Mercury is the teeny tiny one. So, can you find Mercury?
Right here.
Okay.
No, right here. Right here.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Or the arrow points to.
Okay. Okay, every ring that we see here is the way the planet moves around the sun. So this is the track each planet has to go around the sun and how long it takes them to go around the sun to make 1 year. This one's Saturn. So Saturn goes here.
Oh, Saturn. But where's this?
Mars.
This one. Oh, one's Jupiter.
That's Jupiter.
Jupiter. This one is here. This one is. Oh,
This
one is Neptune. Neptune.
and this one?
This one. I don't know. We only have 2 blue ones.
No, we have another one called Uranus. And Uranus goes right. Wow.
Is that really where all the planets are?
So this is where they've placed all these planets. Every planet has its own circular cycle that they have to obey because at the end of the day, God told them, he placed them and he said where they had to go. So they're obeying God's laws. There's a lot of things that go on with each planet, like gravity and all the air and molecules and all this kind of stuff that we will learn as we go along, as we study day 4. But here they are placed in different places in their route around the sun because they all spin around the sun because that's what God told them and placed them to do. And there's a lot of things that go on with it. And as we move on and learn from day 4, we will learn a lot more about these planets as we go along our school year. Did you enjoy this project? Did you enjoy making this puzzle?
Oh, yeah!
So now we have a solar system. that we get to look into and discover. All from day 4. God does amazing things in one day, doesn't he?
He can do a lot in one day.
That's why he's an awesome God.
24 hours. He can do so many things in one whole day. That's 24 hours.
And who did he do all of this for?
Us?
That's right. He wanted to create a family that loved and cherished him, not puppets. We weren't forced to love him. We weren't forced to worship him or praise him. We choose to love him. It's a choice. It's a choice to believe in him. It's a choice to believe